Good morning, everybody. This is the 2024 Week 12 Lance Anderson press conference ahead of this Saturday's Battle for the Axe up in Cedar City against the state rival Southern Utah. Kickoff inside Eccles Coliseum will be at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. The game will be streamed live on ESPN Plus. It'll be a Southern Utah produced broadcast. The game will be also aired live on the radio and online on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5 FM down here in St. George, with Rod Zundel calling the play-by-play and Ronnie Walker Jr. Brian color analysis. Reminder also that the Lance Anderson Coaches Show will run tonight at 6 p.m. both on the Fan Sports Network and on Trailblazer Sports Vision. And Saturday's pregame show for the Battle for the Axe will start at 12 noon, live from Eccles Coliseum and from the Fan Sports Network studios beginning at 12 noon. This Saturday's game against Southern Utah will be the sixth meeting between the Thunderbirds and Trailblazers on the football field. Utah Tech is 1-4 all time against SUU in its NCAA era. The lone win coming at the end of the 2022 season with the 48-36 victory at Greater Zion Stadium. A couple of news and notes from last Saturday's game against West Georgia. Utah Tech went 5 for 5 inside the red zone. Over the last three games overall, Utah Tech offense is 14 of 15 in the red zone with 10 touchdowns and 4 field goals. Redshirt freshman quarterback Reggie Graff set a new Utah Tech NCAA program record by completing his first 15 passes in last Saturday's game against West Georgia. And senior punter Andy Day eclipsed the 10,000-yard plateau career punt yards with his first punt last Saturday against West Georgia as well. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Anderson and then open up questions for those in attendance. Coach.
I'll start by looking back at Saturday afternoon against West Georgia. Again, really for the fourth game in a row. I mean, it was a competitive game into the fourth quarter for us. But again, we just didn't finish the way that we'd like. I mean, in that stretch of 4 games, we've only been able to finish one of those games the way we'd like. But I think there were a lot of positive things in all phases, offense, defense, and special teams. But there were also, definitely, glaring areas that have to get improved, that we have to get better at. And just overall, we can't turn the ball over. We've got to be able to finish plays offensively, defensively, and on special teams. We've also got to finish drives. And that's going to be our challenge this week, is to finish. Because, again, we play a really good football team in Southern Utah. I think they're probably in the top echelon in our conference. You watch them play each week. I mean, they are tough. They are physical, very competitive. They're in every single game. They got some really talented players. I mean, I have to mention the running back, Targi Lamson. I mean, tremendous talent, very good running back. Each week I mention all the good running backs we played against this year, and we have, and he is right in that group. So we will have our hands full. I know this is a big rivalry game. It's something our guys have, been looking forward to. We've had great energy in practice these first 2 days, and we're excited to kick things off on Saturday afternoon.
Here, with that, we'll open up questions for Coach.
Coach Devin Dixon, hey, in your experience with rivalries like you had at Stanford with teams like California, how did you treat rivalry week with the players? Was there anything different approach-wise or message-wise, or is it business as usual?
We try to make it business as usual as much as we can. But what I believe in and what we did in a lot of those big games, big game weeks, we remind the team that, yes, we know there's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of emotion this week, but we've got to understand our preparation has to be the same. Our work ethic has to be the same. And then when we line up on Saturday, we've got to treat it like it's any other opponent and make sure that we are paying attention to all the small details that we're executing. But we know, I mean, these rivalry games are always, there's just a little bit more on the line. There's always that little bit of extra energy, a little bit of extra emotion, and we've got to be prepared for that. But our process needs to remain the same.
Coach, it looks from afar. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Yep. I got you.
It looks from afar that over the second half of the season, your team's been playing better football. Games have been more competitive than they were in the first half. What has shifted for your ball club?
I think just, again, I think everybody's starting to get a better understand of what we're doing offensively, defensively, special teams. I think, the guys have worked hard all season long, even going back to last spring. And I think they're gaining a better understanding. I think we've got a better buy-in. I think as coaches, we have a better understanding of what we have and what our guys do best. And as the season's gone on, we've tried to focus on things that we do best and also try to address those areas that have been weaknesses for us and try to get better in those areas. I think just the nature of football. I mean, the more you play, the more you practice, the harder you work, the better you get. And I think we're finally starting to get some results from that work that we put in. We know that we still have a long way to go. There's a lot of improvement still necessary, but I like the way we're trending. I like the fact that yes, for like 4 straight games, we've been in the game in the fourth quarter. We've had a chance to win those games. We've just got to get better at executing at critical times and being able to finish.
How important was that Central Arkansas win for your football team?
I think that was huge. I think the guys were starting to press a little bit, and I think but the work ethic continued to be good. The belief was still there. Attitude was still good. I mean, we made a big emphasis on, hey, practicing, playing, doing everything like you love football. So it was good to finally get that reward, finally to have some tangible evidence that, hey, we're headed in the right direction. We're doing a lot of the correct things. Hey, if we just keep pressing forward, we're eventually going to get the results that we like.
Hey, Coach, do you, as a coach, do you take a rivalry game like this as a major recruiting tool because you're competing with Southern Utah for pretty much a lot of the same players?
I think that's I don't try to make that too big of a deal, but I think there's that's a fact, and it does affect recruiting. And when you're going head to head on some kids, and you're recruiting a lot of these Utah or Las Vegas kids, things like that. Winning this game is big in a lot of those recruiting battles. There's no question about that.
And do you also use this as an audition, maybe because a lot of guys are battling for a spot for next year as well? Is this their final audition?
I think we've kind of been in that mode the last half of the season, where we know that we are trying to build something here, and we are looking. I mean, each week is a test for us, and we want to do our best, to pass that test. But hey, we're building something, and each week it's an opportunity for guys to step up and to show what they're capable of doing, to maximize their role or their potential. And so we try to make everything competitive, and there's nothing like a game. And that's what we truly see what a guy's true colors are, what his true abilities are, true potential is. And so, game day is huge in terms of making those evaluations.
Coach, your quarterback, Reggie Graff, first talk about kind of what you've seen from him throughout the course of this year, and also touch on him being your leading rusher this season. Is that something that you guys have designed in the offense, or would you like to get more out of your tailbacks?
Oh, we'd certainly like to get more in the run game, because I think we've got a good stable of running backs, and I think they've all played well at times this year. We've been a little beat up in that group, and but it's been good that when somebody's down, another guy steps up. So again, this week we're going to need production out of our running backs. But going back to Reggie, we knew that one of the things he does well is he runs the football. He's a very good athlete, and we knew going into the season that we would always have a package for him to do that, because it's something that he does so well. As he's played more and now turned into our full-time starter, we try to design things that he is good at. And one of those things is, using his legs, using his athletic ability, to make plays, and he's definitely done that. I think Reggie's also improved as the years gone on as a passer, just with his accuracy, with his decision making, and he's made a lot of big plays in the throwing game over the season as well. Just like he's done, running the football. So we're very pleased with his development. He's very competitive, and we've seen that each week that he's taken the field.
A lot of talk about the SU rushing attack, with Lamson having a historic season for Southern Utah, but talk about what you see from the SU offense when they go to the air throwing the football.
I think their run game does set that up. I mean, they are physical up front, and Lamson is an outstanding running back. They do a very good job of running the football. I mean, again, that's the kind of offense I believe in, and I think, boy, when you're physical, you're tough, you prove that you can run the football at will. That opens up a lot of things for an offense, and I think that's been the case. That's led to some big plays, some shots in the throwing game, but I think it all starts with their run game.
Okay, do we have any more questions for Coach today?
I'm good.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We will see you all on Saturday afternoon in Cedar City.